This is a bare root strawberry. This is what we're going to be planting in the ground, and I want to walk you through it because it has a little bit of specifications. It's not quite spring, we're just about there, and this is a great time to plant a bare root strawberry. Bare root strawberries are not only cheaper, they also are way more beneficial when it comes to when they go inside of the ground. They'll adapt to their new environment a lot easier, and we should get a harvest out of them a lot quicker than if we were to buy them from the store in the pot. When you buy a pack of bare root strawberries, they come in a big bundle like this. They look dead, they look terrible. It's because they're still in their dormancy phase. I actually left these out for about 20 minutes just now, and I can see some of them starting to wake up. What we first have to do in order to wake up a lot of these plants is put them into warm water. Not only is that going to suck up a bunch of moisture and tell these plants that they're ready to start blooming, it's going to change the color, it's going to bring vibrancy back to them, and it's going to wake them up, get them out of dormancy. I've already had some of the plants sitting inside of water for about 20 minutes, and it's a clear difference between the two of them. This still looks, honestly, if I saw this in the ground, I might think this was a dead strawberry plant. This one, however, is vibrant, and this looked just like this before I put it in the water. So if you get your strawberries and they look terrible, have no fear, they will wake up and look way better. Strawberries thrive with really good organic material. They really like magnesium and calcium, so if you have to amend your soil, those are two things that you can really amend it with. And they like well-draining soil, and they like full sun. So ours is going to be in these raised beds, south-facing, full sun, in wood mulch actually, and I can walk you through how we're planting ours in just a moment because we're using ours for a specific reason, not just for the strawberries. Before we get planting them into the soil, I want to show you in this way how to do it because it's a little bit easier than you won't be able to see if I'm putting under the soil all the root system. So the roots, when they come out of the water, they're still tied together. We want the roots to be somewhat separated, fanning out a little bit, so that the roots go into different locations, getting nutrients from a wide variety of area, not too wide, kind of in this formation. This part at the top of the strawberry, where all the green grows from, just above the roots, is called the crown, and that's what we're going to be looking for when we plant them in the soil. The soil needs to be just at the base of the crown, pretty much level with the top of the last root system. And you'll have to kind of orient the strawberry to make sure that you have it in the right orientation because some of them kind of grow off to the side. But that's pretty much where we're going for, is just at the base, right here, the base of this crown. And once we're putting the strawberry inside of the soil, we want to try to keep the fan, and we also want to try to maintain a straight structure of the roots itself. We don't want the roots bending at all. The way that I found is easiest to go about doing this, I set the strawberry in its location with its fanned roots, kind of dangling it in the location that I'm going to be planting it. I start to build up the soil loosely around it. That soil will start to hold the plant in place, and from there I can then mound up and cover the rest of the plant up to the crown. This tends to be the easiest way for me to maintain that none of the roots are being bent or curled underneath the soil. Strawberries are pretty easy once they're in the ground. Just make sure that they have plenty of water and it's well-draining soil, like I said before. Something to know, there are different types of strawberries. Some are determinate and indeterminate. Sometimes they give you some plants will give you strawberries at a given amount of time, and that's it. Others are ever-bearing, and some reflect that name. So there's ever-bearing strawberries, so throughout the season you can pick and eat your strawberries as you go. Now what we are using our strawberries for is a very specific reason. For one, our family loves strawberries, and we want to collect our strawberries, and we want to have a nice clean strawberry because strawberries are some of the most sprayed plants. They're called the dirty dozen. So if you're not getting organic strawberries, that's why you want to choose, or as much as you can, choose organic strawberries. Not that that even means all that much, but they're part of the dirty dozen, meaning that they're the worst when it comes to pesticides, some of the worst when it comes to pesticides. So growing your own strawberries is one of the best things that you could do for yourself and your family if you have the means to do it. We're not only going to keep them as strawberries, we're going to harvest them, turn them into jams and jellies, and save them throughout the winter. The other thing that we have them for is a really cool thing that I have found from my other fellow farmers around me. One of them uses them to line her fence line outside of her garden, and the best thing that the strawberries do for that is it keeps the crabgrass, because crabgrass grows sideways and encroaches in from the sides. The best thing that the strawberry plant can do is keep that crabgrass from growing in, and the strawberry plant tends to stop the crabgrass, stopping it from entering the area that you want. Now, our property is great. It's about 15 acres, and we have enough room for our animals, but the problem with it is that it does not have very good ground for growing plants straight into the ground. I have some more dedicated videos on the fact that this is a rocky place and we don't have much soil, and there's limestone very shallow underneath. So we've had to deal with growing a big garden space in an area that's not it's not the best for a garden growing. So the way that we're growing our garden this year is no longer using these raised beds. For one, it costs too much money, takes up a lot of space. You have too many rows, there's too many gaps between the rows, and what we're doing is giant, long wood chip rows. So everything's going to be going and planted inside of the rows with compost inside of the wood mulch. So it will be wood mulch, compost, or whatever planting soil we have is going to be down, covered by the wood mulch. And then from there, we're going to be growing in those mounds. So that's where the strawberries come in for us as hopefully our heroes. So taking that same advice and that same knowledge that I have that the strawberries can keep the crabgrass from growing in our situation, what I'm hoping is that the strawberries are going to help keep the crabgrass from growing up these mounds. What we're doing is planting them mostly on the sides of the mounds so that our harvestable plants this summer are going to be on the top of the mounds. The strawberries will play their job at keeping any of that crabgrass from coming up the mound to get to the rest of the plants. So we'll be able to harvest our strawberries and use those as nutrients for us. And the strawberries are going to protect the plants and the mounds for myself. So that's what we have. That's what our plans are for this garden and for the strawberries. So good luck on choosing your strawberries this season. Do choose, really do try to get your bare root strawberries. And if you did get them, good for you, and I hope this video helped you. It makes it real easy to do it. And follow us on this journey as we take this terrible soil area and turn it into a lush, beautiful garden. That's what the hope is, at least. Right now, this is gardening season, so we tend to do a lot more gardening stuff as we grow this garden. But we also do a lot more when it comes to animals. We have a heifer, a cow, who is on her way into calving her first calf. We have a bunch of other animals, alpacas. Thanks for watching. Check out our other videos. See you later.